What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, your man's Toxic Gamble, back at it with another video, and today we are doing yet another Toxic Tier List ranking. Oh yeah, and 2 on the same day, can you believe it? And today we are going to rank every single WrestleMania 40 match from the worst to the best in tier list fashion. But before we get to actual beginning of the video itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number 1, it's absolutely free. Number 2, we're on the road to 700 subscribers. Just let me do the math here in my head. 43 right now. Really, how about you, boy, if you did subscribe, and it'll also help with the YouTube algorithm, maybe recommend the video more, and maybe some more people can join that toxic fan. But with that being said, I was originally gonna film this tomorrow, but I gotta film it today because my thoughts are, I'll just get out of the way. I thought this show was phenomenal and probably one of the best pay-per-views I have seen in all of WWE, and probably we'll eventually talk about it, but probably a moment I will remember for the rest of my life. I'm not even kidding when I say that. Let's just get started. And also, here are the tiers. Best of the best, which means perfect and will be remembered among wrestling history. Great means it was still a great match, but it wasn't as amazing as best of the best category. Toxic goodness means it was a good match. Okay means it was just... It was alright. There was some good stuff about it, and there was some bad stuff about it, and the toxic trash means dumpster fire, the worst matches of WrestleMania that have nothing good about them, which I can say I don't have a single bad match on here, so for toxic trash. Alright, so for WrestleMania, it kicked off with Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, and I thought this was a good way to kick off the show. And I'm really basing this off of how amazing all the other matches were on the show, too. So, I think it's good, because we had so much classics on our hands here. Rhea Ripley coming out with a W was a smart decision. It could have gone 50-50 in either way. I'd be happy, but they did build Becky Lynch, build Rhea Ripley a little bit more. They had good build-up, and also they had pretty cool entrances, even though I thought maybe I thought that I didn't really like the singing performance, but it was an interesting entrance, to say none the least, because they were all kind of dressed up like Rhea Ripley. But it was a good match compared to all the other matches. But should I put it in great? I definitely think Io versus Bayley, spoiler alert, is a little bit better than this, but I still think it's a good match, and helps elevate Rhea Ripley's title reign even more, and she holds it for a full-on year now. Next up, we had the 6-man, the 12-man, the 6-triangle ladder match. I think that's what you call it. This match was best of the best for me. I loved this ladder match. It was so much fun. There were a bunch of crazy spots here and there, and they actually split the tag titles, which I was super happy about. And both of the winners of both belts I was happy with. I would have been happy with any of these guys winning the tag titles in this match, except for Judgment Day, and at least I wanted the tag title split, which we did get that with A-Town Down Under, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory winning the SmackDown tag team titles, which that was really cool. And also Awesome Truth picking up the victory, winning the Raw tag titles. That was a great moment for R-Truth and Miz, and well deserved. The tag teams that didn't win had a couple of spots here to showcase themselves. New Catch Republic had a bunch of amazing spots throughout the match. DIY had a bunch of cool spots, especially the one final beat through the table to Butch on the outside, and also the air raid crash from Ciampa off the ladder. Let me think here. Also, Xavier Woods doing a limit break onto the ladder with, I forgot who was on there, but yeah, overall, I just thought it was an amazing ladder match. So it goes in the best of the best. Then we got Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. And I surprisingly thought this was a good match. I thought this was going to be like one of the weaker matches on the show, but I actually had a really good time with it. Andrade was a good replacement for Dragon Lee for storyline purposes. In-ring action was all good. All four men got to showcase their wrestling abilities, and I will admit there's a flaw here with the people from the Philadelphia team. I don't know when they interfered, because I don't know them, so it wasn't like a real huge reaction from me, but I already guessed somebody from Philadelphia, one of their teams. So, yeah, cool for them. It's just I didn't know who they were, so it wasn't as big for me. But a cool WrestleMania moment for Andrade and Rey Mysterio. So it was a good match. It was a good match. Next up, we have a 3-on-3 tag team match with Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair facing Kabuki Warriors and Dakota Kai. I originally thought this was pretty solid, but now that I think about it, it's more like a SmackDown or Raw match, so I'll put it in okay. In-ring action was good. All of the superstars in the match got to showcase their talent. Jade Cargill eventually came in and won the match for their team, and overall, I thought the match was okay. It feels as if maybe it shouldn't have been on the pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying? Maybe on the pre-show, but not on the pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so next up we have Sami Zayn versus Gunther, the Ring General, which originally I knew it was going to be a great match, but originally I wasn't too high on Sami facing Gunther, because don't get me wrong, I love Sami Zayn. Who doesn't in wrestling, right? It's just, I wish they gave such a great arc for Chad Gable to be the one to dethrone Gunther. And then when Sami Zayn was making his entrance and everyone was basically going like, you got this, I was going like, you know, I don't mind if Sami wins this. And it makes sense because he ended the longest reigning tag team title reign of history, so it would be cool for him to win the IC title from Gunther and become and break the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship reign in history. And he did that. And I thought this match was a classic and a great way to end Gunther's championship reign and shoot him up right to the main event scene. And Sami Zayn and Gunther both looked great, even though it kind of made Gunther look a little stupid how he just didn't pin Sami Zayn right there, then and there, but it is what it is. But it was still an amazing match. Sami Zayn brought back his Avalanche Brainbuster, which I was going like, no way he brings this back, right? Because the move looks incredibly unsafe, and he brought it back, and he capitalized and hit 2 haluva kicks after that on Gunther to win the Intercontinental Championship in a beautiful moment with his family there. And yeah, it was a best of the best match. The in-ring wrestling was great as well, and the story that they told was quite good as well. So Sami Zayn versus Gunther, best of the best. I loved that match. Should we go in order here? I mean, technically we didn't go in order because Sami Zayn versus Gunther was co-main event. I'll talk about the main event. I'll talk about the main events last, I think. So I'll talk about these bad boys first, you know? Okay, there you go. We'll go this. Okay. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Jimmy Uso, the brother versus brother match. And this is probably my least favorite match of WrestleMania, but however, it's still not a bad match. I thought the in-ring action was okay. It's just they super kicked each other way too dang much. And the video package that they built up for the video was actually quite hype. I really enjoyed that. However, the in-ring action, again, just super kicks and punches. Yeet, no yeet, yeet, no yeet. And I think the feud should have been built up a little bit more before then, you know what I'm saying? They started the feud build up really for the beginning of the Royal Rumble match for the men, but they could have developed it a little bit here and there in between. But they had a really great match. Not a great match. An okay match at best. It was definitely my least favorite of the week, which I was actually expecting it to be like one of my favorites of the week, but I was wrong. Then we got Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, which ended up kicking off night 2 of WrestleMania, and this match was also just another great classic between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Probably, dare I say it, maybe their best match. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But this match was great. The CM Punk on commentary was a smart decision. I really liked that choice there. I thought in-ring action, of course, was great. Maybe if I had to choose like a minor gripe, maybe Seth kicked out way too many Claymores. He kicked out 3 of them, which I thought kind of weakened the Claymore as a finisher, but it's okay. They still had a really great match there. Seth hitting a stomp and stuff, and Drew ended up winning the world title, well deserved. However, when he got in front of CM Punk's face, CM Punk hit a chop block on his leg, and then he fell right on the announcer's table. Then Damian Priest took advantage, and you hear that, and he ends up cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase and winning the World Heavyweight title. And if he did not cash in, then he would have probably been one of the worst Money in the Bank holders of all time, because who wouldn't cash in right there, right? And it was the right call to make Damian Priest cash in at WrestleMania there, because, you know, I thought if he's gonna have a successful cash in, he should have a successful cash in at WrestleMania. And if not, maybe do it on night after WrestleMania. But I'm super glad to see Damian Priest as World Heavyweight Champion. Good for him, man. And yeah, best of the best right there. And it was really greatly built up. Next up, we got the 3-on-3 street fight between the Hurt Profits. You know what? WWE, make it happen. The Hurt Profits. That's what their tag team names are called. Versus the Final Testament. And I thought this match was okay. I think it should have had more extremeness into it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is Philadelphia after all. And they just had a couple tables, candlesticks, and chairs. That's really it. They didn't really do much. But out of all the matches on the show, I feel this was kind of the most botched. But most of the matches on here weren't botched at all. So there were a few botches here and there, but not a lot. And also, I thought that the wrong person won in the end. Like, good for Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I love them. Who doesn't? Again, just like the Sami Zayn thing. But Karrion Kross kind of needs a win right now because he's... yeah, they haven't used him very well. So I was kind of hoping they would get a win and maybe get Karrion Kross's momentum back up, and looks like he's just going to continue jobbing. And also there was, if you were wondering what botches I was specifically talking about, I was talking about there's a table spot. They try to set up a table in the ring and ends up breaking on its own. So there's that. And also, I think B-Fab and Scarlett, when they took the table bump, B-Fab maybe landed a little bit far away by accident. So hopefully she's okay. But it was a little bit botchy there. But it was entertaining. I think it is watchable, but out of all the matches on the show, it's not the best. What the heck just happened? Okay. Next up we have, I thought I put you right here. Okay, anyways. AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Yeah. And this match's build-up was surprisingly very good, and I was really excited for this match. And when I heard they were doing it on night 2, I was going, come on, man, I want to see that match sooner. And these two had a good match. Probably my favorite in the good category. This was a good way to also give LA Knight a big win without being a championship and getting a big win, first win at WrestleMania. AJ made LA Knight look great, and also LA Knight made AJ Styles look great. So good stuff there. And I totally lost track right there. And there were a bunch of cool spots here with back body drop on the exposed floor, which I was not expecting in this type of matchup, and LA Knight doing an avalanche German suplex to AJ Styles. So overall, really good match. Next up, we have a triple threat match between Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. I knew this was going to be a good match, but boy, man, I loved this triple threat match. All three looked great. There were a bunch of moments where you were actually thinking, oh, Logan Paul might lose the title here. And there's the Prime bottle, which I was totally surprised who it was. And that it was ISHO Speed, which I was completely shocked by because I was going, they're not going to do KSI again, right? So I was thinking about YouTubers in my head who could be the Prime bottle. I was suggesting maybe it'd be Jake Paul this time, or Mr. Beast, or who else did I say? Jake Paul, Mr. Beast, or KSI. I said KSI maybe because they could maybe do it again. And it was ISHO Speed. And it was super funny, the interaction between him and Randy Orton, where he was barking at him. And then Randy brought him on the table and then barked back at him and then RKO'd him on the announcer's table. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And in-ring action, of course, great. Logan Paul proves again how he will be a world champion someday. I guarantee it in this video. And, best of the best. Amazing match. Then we got Io Sky versus Bayley. And I thought this was a good match. And the story was built up very well. I think, besides another match Scoozy, go back down there. Besides another match which we're about to talk about, it probably had the second best build-up of all the WrestleMania matches, and it delivered a good match between Bayley and Io Sky. It's so cool to see Bayley win another women's title again, because last time she held a women's title before this, regular women's title, I should say, was 2020 when she dropped it to Sasha Banks. With her longest reigning SmackDown Women's Championship. So it was cool to see her win the Women's Championship, kind of the Raw Women's Championship still. And win it from Io, and they told a really good narrative throughout the match. So that goes into toxic goodness. Next up, we have the best built-up match, 100% out of this whole entire WrestleMania. And that was the tag team match between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes facing The Rock and Roman Reigns. And Bloodline, was this officially in Bloodline rules? I don't know. But anyways, I was a little hesitant going into this match because some people that haven't wrestled in a while return with ring rust or are actually or decent. And Rock came back looking better than, I shouldn't say better than ever, but looked better, proved to all the previous wrestlers who basically came out of retirement or came out of injury and looked like they had ring rust or weren't as good as people were expecting for their return to be, and put them to shame, because Rock put in the work and trained. I could tell he trained extra hard to get back in the ring here, and had an amazing tag team match, and told a good story from both perspectives with Seth and Cody, and Seth and Cody had a lot to do in this match, and so did Roman Reigns as well, that I put on my Toxic's favorite playlist, the prestigious Toxic's favorite playlist, the crazy moment where Roman accidentally spears The Rock, and then Cody and Seth take advantage and hit dual pedigrees, and then you think it's all over. Nope, they both kick out. And it was a really cool moment there, and it was a good way to basically show everyone Cody's finishing the story, but not finishing the story at the same time, if you get my drift. And then finally, the magnum opus, which should have been built up more, but I can say for this right now, this did not need the build up at all. This match, I'm not even kidding to you, might be my favorite wrestling match and will be a match / moment in my life I will never forget as a wrestling fan, because I started becoming a wrestling fan in April of 2018 as soon as WrestleMania 34 ended, so somewhere in between that. And yeah, I came to wrestling then, and ever since then I've loved it, and this is proof how I love it. This match was perfect, and honestly, yeah, I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it, because this so WrestleMania 39 last year, I was disappointed because Cody didn't win, and now that I think about it, it was the right choice, because sometimes you don't always win in your story, you know? So I was going, yeah, Cody's definitely winning this time. And the way they did it, man, where they had everyone come out, where Jimmy came out to help Roman, and then Jay came out to battle Jimmy again, and they tackle each other off the freaking stage. Then this match, I was actually calling, because it made logical sense for me, because Solo beat John Cena at Crown Jewel and made it seem like, oh, Cena had his last match. Nope, Cena can't, and I said, Cena's gonna return, isn't he? And then I said, I was right, I called it, and I was going to my mom and dad going, yep, I called it, I knew he was gonna come out and save Cody Rhodes. Cena came out and took out Solo Sikoa, and attitude adjustment, and hit him through the announcer's table and hit an attitude adjustment on Roman Reigns. Then afterwards, The Rock came out, and The Rock had another showdown with John Cena after their two matches at WrestleMania 28 and 29. That was cool to see them stare down with each other again. The Rock hit a rock bottom. And the biggest surprise of the night, which I was actually expecting Stone Cold to come out, because Wrestlemania had like Stone Cold and Cena on the video, on the thumbnail, helping Cody Rhodes out. And I was not expecting it. The Undertaker came out and chokeslammed The Rock, which I thought Rock was going to turn on Roman. Nope, Undertaker chokeslams The Rock. Then it's all just Roman and Cody left. And Roman goes for the spear, ducks under, kicks him in the face. Crossroads, not done yet. Second Crossroads, and a third Crossroads. 1, 2, 3, new WWE champion, and Cody Rhodes, rightfully deserved. There were no other possible options in my mind that could have defeated Roman Reigns. And, well, not as of right now, I should say. Not as of right now. And Cody wins. All his family members come to the ring and celebrate with him, along with all the baby faces. LA Knight, yeah, CM Punk, Randy Orton, John Cena, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins. Triple H came out to hug him and stuff, and Bruce Pritchard was there too as well. This is a moment I will never ever forget in my life, honestly. Probably, yeah, and a great conclusion to the story, and it confirms we are in a new era, the Triple H era, and yeah, I might just do a breakdown of this whole entire match. I don't know, but this match was absolutely phenomenal, and might be one of the best matches I've ever seen, honestly, and this was the Avengers Endgame for Cody Rhodes' story, and it was beautiful, and I'm glad it happened, and yeah, I loved this pay-per-view, and probably one of the best WrestleManias, too. And honestly, this might be a hot take. I don't know if this is a hot take. Let me know down below. But I think the way they handled Cody's story with this, and Cody eventually won the WWE Championship, I thought that it was even better than Kofi Mania and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. Shoot me, I know, but I thought it was even better than that. It's just how everything played out with it. It's just, yeah. I can't anymore, guys. But because I get too excited, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this pay-per-view I loved, and I don't think anything's gonna beat it soon. So I will remember this forever. But with that being said, guys, that is just my thoughts on WrestleMania 40. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below about all the matches and stuff, and what stuff you didn't enjoy and what stuff you did enjoy. But with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace.